All right, we're here today in partnership with Manhattan. We are Radial Europe, presenting Maria Strauss as Manhattan and me and Alin from Radial itself. My name is Erik van Diem, the sales director within Europe, and Alin Pop, head of IT solutions, covering the span of Europe as well. As you may or may not know, Radial is a 3PL company operating globally. Origins come from the US. We're an international company, as mentioned already, with local expertise. I think in one of the sessions, a fellow ecom expert already mentioned a nice analogy is be global but act local. That's also a vision that we strive within Radial and the bpost group, which we are part of. As mentioned, we are an international company. We have over 100 warehouses globally, of which we in Europe have a portion of that. We offer multi-channel distribution services, warehousing, B2C and B2B fulfillment. As mentioned, part of bpost group, which provides us with the necessary financial stability, capability to invest in our customers in the future, in automation, in whatever is necessary to step up the game and be the front runner within the logistics landscape. Retail's reality. What we see within the customer span that we have is that it needs to be fast, it needs to be flexible, and it needs to be flawless. So that you can relate to same or next day shipping, depending on how important your lead time is, of course. The scalability for brands, so joining today but also be there with you in the next coming 4 or 5 years, making the steps from maybe a startup scale up into a mid-size to enterprise account. And supply chain complexity grows, of course, with all those ambitions that customers but also the market has. What our clients really want. What our clients really want is that their inventory is always available. And that is available in terms of inbound, available in terms of goods coming back to the warehouse once they have returned from a consumer which wasn't maybe not happy with the product. Speed to market, so being close to your customers, have local presence, a good fulfillment network and coverage in the region that you are. Deliver upon your promise, so deliver accuracy, that can be in picking, that can also be in delivery itself. That also relates and transfer to the trust into your brand, of course. If the first delivery is right, then the actual consumer experience is, of course, way better than if they open the first packet that they order with you as a retailer and they have a wrong product or maybe from a wrong brand. And scalability, and that resonates very much to being agile as a company and provide your customers with the relevant continuity within that process. The promise that we make to our customers and probably the customers to their customers as well is that we always are available. That relates to the inventory. We always deliver on time, and we're always scalable. In the end, the fulfillment, the operation, the people in the warehouse are the heart of that promise. And that is a vision that we in Radial, and what we also see in delivering that promise, how that partnership is with Manhattan, really is the backbone of all of it. With that promise, of course, there are also challenges. The challenge to constantly strive for operational excellence, it's a must-have. If you stand still as an organization, you will fall back, especially in the competitive landscape that we are as a 3PL provider. And a very important topic is handling peak patterns. I think there are coming more and more, depending on what type of product you have, seasonalities. You, of course, have your Black Friday, Cyber Mondays. It started with a couple of days, and I think now it's already weeks, maybe months. Everybody is buying in upfront. and the global multi-channel reach. So customers want to have their inventory close to their consumers, whether it's in Europe, Asia, Australia, US, you name it. And to have a balance and alignment in between those categories is very important. Why technology matters in relation to our fulfillment. What we see is that if you have a very static system with limited scale, limited capabilities, that will have boundaries for you as a 3PL provider, but in the end also how you engineer and customize your process for your consumers. To bridge it to the Manhattan's role in it, as you know, Manhattan is a warehouse management provider, which we operate their stack, Manhattan Active. We operate it on all European sites. I know we have US also on the scope. And they provide us real-time control of the inventory, of all the processes that are happening within the warehouse. But we can also make them visible for our customers, which for us is very important because nowadays visibility within the supply chain is very important. But also making sure that you can make changes along the way. Manhattan also allows us to have integrations with various TMS because we operate by a multi-TMS strategy. Also our operating management system and last of all, and very important because they are the final phase to the consumer, are the last mile partners. And in the end, we basically use Manhattan as the backbone of it all. How that translates to performance. We agree on a certain promise. We uplift the promise which the brand or retailer has to its consumers. In the end, we also need to do our part, which is related to performance within fulfillment, KPIs, SLAs, whether it's available to commerce, so your timely inbound receipt, that the inventory is visible but also shoppable. So that's relating to inbound receipt from goods manufacturer, but also from returns. The sooner you have it online, the sooner it can sell. In the end, the more profitable and more revenue you can generate. How we deliver on that promise, that's quite straightforward. Of course, we have contracts with our clients in which we manage those KPIs. We have bi-weekly, quarterly, monthly updates on that, how we steer on that, how can we improve it. That's all what we envision and do together with our customers. I'm myself a sales director, so why all this also matters in sales. In the end, what customer wants, if they are like in an RFP process, a tendering process, they want to maybe shop around in Europe amongst other 3PL companies or want to switch for strategic reasons. They always want to onboard as fast as I can, which sometimes give hurdles with IT. I have Alin next to me, he knows for sure. And also, if you have a backbone like the partner that Manhattan is, it also gives us more credibility throughout those processes in general. The power of the partnership. I think we work 11 years now with Manhattan. All of our sites are running in Europe on Manhattan. It's probably not going to stay with that, I think. So we already have a long-standing partnership with them. We develop together. We have a true sense of feeling that they are the partner that we need, able to push our system forward within the WMS configuration. And we see it just more as a vendor. A bit of a shout out also to our partner. And how that all translates from sales to systems, that's why I give the word to my colleague Alin.
Thanks, Erik. I am Alin Pop. I'm head of IT solutions in Radial Europe, and I'll walk you through the how we convert sales and shiny and good words into technical and get the parcels and the inventory in the warehouse. So we have the supply chain resilience as a strategic imperative. Um, and we go beyond that. So if you want to go fast, yeah, we go alone. If you want to go far, then you go together. So we are on the concept that we really want to partner with Manhattan, and if we have an issue, it's our issue to solve. Is not the vendor issue or our issue. It's all together, and we have a very good relationship, specifically technically and at different layers. Bad foundations will require in the long term lots of maintenance. Back in 2021, we had opportunity to get the business in Warsaw, and we were questioned what technology suits for an automation with an A-frame with KNAP, and somebody was mentioning to get Manhattan 2020, which obviously was already legacy. And there we take it out of the question, because why would you put a flagship facility with automation and starting the journey into more automations in Europe with a legacy system? So I've really strongly advocated Manhattan Active, which is versionless, and we'll talk a little bit more on this. And as I mentioned, yeah, we always one team, and we don't fingerprint when we have issues. Did I go too fast? Yes, streamlined support. So moving away from Manhattan 14, for instance, we run that historically since 2015 in Germany, and we wanted to remove bottlenecks, and obviously the old and the legacy platform, it becomes a big bottleneck in the long run, and we decided to go with Manhattan Active. Manhattan warehouse management system version 14 obviously was end of life, and it becomes more expensive to maintain it and roll it. So it's an advantage to move to Manhattan Active warehouse management system, which is versionless. And obviously by doing this, we stop the improvements or more development on a legacy system, and it lower obviously the maintenance cost, and it also help removing capex spikes in hardware. So every time when you want to do an upgrade every 5 or 10 years, obviously that's an investment that the company has to do it, but there is no more the case with Manhattan Active, because it's versionless and cloud-based system. I think the slide is really self-explanatory, but I'll highlight here. Manhattan warehouse management system is best of breed, cloud native, build 100% on microservices based architecture, and is ensuring scalability, rapid innovation, and seamless updates. We don't need to worry about the updates. Updates are drop every 3 months. We just need to test it, sign it off, and the Manhattan team will take care of the updates. And it's been recognized as a leader in 2025 Gartner Magic Quadrant for warehouse management system, highlighting proven customer satisfaction and industry trust. And here I get into the slides where I really enjoy those. I hope you do the same. So Manhattan Active Warehouse Management System comes with a lot of benefits, and I'm walking through the key one. So it's versionless. There is no migration approach needed because it's always running the latest version, and eliminates costly software upgrade projects. New features are rolled out without painful migrations. It comes with a seamless automation connectivity, so it's easy integration. It's easy to integrate with existing and future automation systems without having, to stop the operation. What we notice also coming from Manhattan Warehouse Management System platform, version 14, we as a WMS team or IT teams, we shift from firefighters basically to builders. So instead of staying and babysitting a database or an application server and other components in there which are hosted on a premise, all this has been taken away because Manhattan Active comes self-managing in Google Cloud by Manhattan experts itself, and we shifted from babysitted, basically we shifted these resources to more strategic and improvements on our operations. And also comes with intuitive and doom-proof interfaces, so it has lots of user interface with nice design which helps with reducing human errors and troubleshooting times. Right. So it was a really easy transition for Radial in Europe to move from Manhattan platform to Manhattan Active, which is a microservice and cloud-based, because as of 2019 we already started to integrate and leverage the microservice-based architecture in our own services. So as of 2019 we adopted proven microservices patterns to solve technical and business challenges without basically reinventing the wheel. I'll highlight a few services that it really makes a difference for our business in Europe. On a screen you see there in the core, it's our microservices. They run on AWS cloud. They're all native applications, serverless. We run all of them serverless. It's our backbone in terms of the integration and unifying various technology, order management systems, web store, ERP systems, you name it, and we unify it into a standard format that afterwards we can systematically talk with Manhattan Active, for instance. Manhattan 14, we still run it for a couple of facilities in there, and that it's an enabler. There on the left, top left, we have the connector service, which it helps us fast track integration for key technologies out there like Shopify web store, to get those companies or brands that they use this technology. It's a plug and play connector that helps to get this into the warehouse management system within a few hours. So that's really nice integration. Second, there we have a TMS proxy service, which combined with the carrier determination service, it helps us to unify all the carrier integration and offer over a few hundreds, I don't have the number, but the transport team might help, to get fast carrier activated and ship. So we are a 3PL company here. We have lots of requirements on how to ship all around the globe. And the TMS proxy middleware that it helps with unifying multiple transport management systems. We use Sentiro, Landmark Global, and Metapack. We even use a couple of transport management system active for a single client. breakdown basically per carrier in the service. If that doesn't exist in one technology, we use the other one at the same time. And something that it came across and alive back in 2022 when we implemented Manhattan Active, we implemented the Dega microservice, which it deals with all automations. So far, we integrated Knapp A-frame. We've got the quick run goods to person, ASR robots, IX tag, which is a pick to light, put to light technology, and Aberlay, it's a combination of conveyor, outbound sorter, and put to light, pick to light. And all of that is handled within the Dega microservice, and it's abstract, and we enable the warehouse management system, in this case Manhattan Active, to talk to various automation systems. Historically, we had a vendor or Manhattan itself, which was doing the integrations, but as with the Manhattan Active project, we took the decision to build that in-house. We have a small but very powerful development team, and we are very capable of doing integrations that all sorts. So up to 2021, we've been doing order management integrations, web store integration, ERP systems, and you name it. But that was the very first time when we started to integrate actually an automation into our warehouse management systems. And then there left the bottom there, we have the data lake, which is plugged in with our Power BI and the client dashboard. That's what we offer to our clients. And down there we have Flagsmith. We partner with Flagsmith, so we can enable deployments without the code, but we change the behavior of certain operational activities because of the configuration which runs at the runtime, and we don't need to do a code release. And we've got Okta in there as identity provider, which we enable authentication and authorization in our services. And on the right side, there are facilities and the warehouse management systems we actively run. I'll talk about the couple of implementation, which are, the Radial flagship facilities, the Groningen facility, which is implemented with the Quicktron automation. This came as a second automation implementation with Manhattan Active warehouse management system, and it's been way faster than the first one because we can reuse the Manhattan templates. Lots of the outbound processes has been already done because of the previous project. So this is one of an advantage, an example on how you could speed up your implementation, because you could leverage existing warehouse management system templates for a new facilities or even automations. We contracted from Manhattan actually for this project only the design. So we only implemented the design with Manhattan, and the execution and the configuration was self-sufficient within the team. They already had the experience from the first project, and we leveraged that knowledge. So from a knowledge perspective and the knowledge gain, it's also quite straightforward for a WMS SME. And we have a couple of, three key takeaways for this project. The template reusability, basically, what I mentioned before. Physical environment, for instance, the floor. So those robots, they really like a flush floor, not wobbly floor. And I think when the facility was taken over to Radial, we just found out some parts of the floor was not even, and extra configurations were needed for robots to function properly in there. and Wi-Fi planning with so many robots in there. If one of them is just lose the connectivity, the Wi-Fi connectivity can break a main lane, basically, and you could have a outage. So in that, it was something that we learned. The Wi-Fi connectivity in such of an automation setup is very, very important. And the Warsaw project, where we implemented the KNAPP A-frame with outbound sorter and the PTL. This is one of my, dear project, because this was the very complex. My team, from a development pure standpoint, I'm not talking about operation, I'm not talking about warehouse planning and physical infrastructure. Basically, my team had to develop massive 4 project work streams. One was the client integration, one was Manhattan Active Warehouse Management System. We had to integrate KNAPP automation and warehouse management system with the TMS. I'm really proud about specifically this project. KNAPP is really a productivity turbo booster. It's a machine which I really recommend if you have something to do in Warsaw. Chip in to see the automation in that. The warehouse is amazing. It has a conveyor belt and a smart routing packaging for the packaging bench on how the products are brought to the packing bench with the totes on the conveyor. They have a smart routing on where to go. Automated documents insert, so waiting auto scale. Basically, in this automation, they implemented a auto waiting. As the parcel goes through the conveyor, it automatically takes the weight, and at that point we had to interface with the TMS, and it was quite challenging. You only have 10-15 seconds until the parcel reaches the auto shipping label machine, and it was a bit of challenging in that to get the TCP messages on time, depending on the TMS responsive. And outbound sorter, which helps to get parcel sorted per carrier. It was the most rewarding project for us because of the hard work and the doing the automation for the first time, and we were really proud of this. And a few takeaways from this project is hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and expect the unexpected. Basically, have multiple plans. If automation doesn't work, you may need to make sure you have a WMS template that it can deliver and run the operation manually. That's for really the worst, where the automation cannot be used. So we had to deliver that. If the auto weight scale machine, it is out of order, then we still need to interface with the TMS and get the shipping label. For that, we also had to develop another flow with the TMS by having the estimated parcel weight from the warehouse management system. And we had developers actually on site for 5 weeks, and this made a massive difference. All the vendors, and including Manhattan, our team, KNAPP team, and the operation, obviously, they were on site for 4 weeks testing. And we were not only just testing hundreds of orders, we actually tested thousands of orders, and that helped to understand the capabilities and if we are reaching the throughput that is required. And testing, very, very, very important. We did, and we made the decision to build ourselves the integration, and that turned out to be a very good idea, because that's now a key differentiator when we implement an automation, because we already have the knowledge and the majority of interfaces and the templates with Manhattan Active, and it takes way faster now to integrate new automation by still reusing a lot. And We also, by absorbing all the integration into our microservices, we take all the complexity that normally a warehouse management system or the automation might have to adjust to make the solution work. But we keep, and that was our goal, to keep the warehouse management system and the automation to their standards. We didn't change a thing on those systems, but through our middleware services, we enable those automation to talk onto their standard, and we made all the complex business rules and complex changes in our services, and that was a major differentiator and the success of the project. And I think that's pretty much all with the two key projects we successfully run with Manhattan Active and Automations. And we have in Warsaw this client doTERRA, which it really helps Manhattan combined with our services and microservice architecture. It also helps to scale with confidence. For this client, we easily get 5,000 orders a day, and next day 28,000, 30,000 orders, and that's just normal for our operation to run. We do for doTERRA 3 facilities at the moment: Poland, UK, and Italy. The 4th facility is underway in Netherlands, acting as a EU replenishment hub. And yeah, we do fulfillment and transportation for doTERRA at scale. I think that's all from my end. Maria?
Thank you, Erik and Alin, for sharing your experience and expertise. I think it was very interesting to hear your stories, especially to hear your business cases. So the cases of the customers, and they are different from each other. So they have different products, they have different processes. But there is one thing which unites them, and I believe this is the most crucial one. So the bar set is quite high, and you need to continue to innovate continuously. So continuously innovate. So thank you for sharing, and we are very happy to have you as our customers, and we will continue to support you in your innovation journey. And I would like to wrap up and a little bit summarize some words about Manhattan. So Radial is using one of our solution is a warehouse management system. So within Manhattan, we have some other products in place. So for example, transport management system, order management system, point of sale, supply chain planning. So absolutely different products. But internally, they have 3 fundamental things which unites them. And I will quickly go through each of them. So the first thing, and I heard Alin was telling about like cloud-based, and I actually want to make a little bit of change and catch your attention, because there is a cloud-based and also cloud-native. So are all clouds are the same? Well, that's not not correct. So cloud, of course, gave us a lot of help and gave us a lot of flexibility, high performance, but also, which is very important right now, is data security. However, only the cloud native, which microservices, which Alin was also mentioning, can really leverage all the advantages that the cloud can bring, which means zero downtime, seamless scaling, but also really highest SLAs. So all our active products in our portfolio, they are built on cloud native platform. And this is not a roadmap item, but this is actually the technology that we are already using among our customers for 5 years. What is also the second important question to ask is about how can you bring innovations on board seamlessly, but also what is most important, continuously. How you can, everybody's talking about continuous, how to continuously innovate. So I have a simple example actually from the Netherlands here. So the country with the biggest amount of greenhouses per square meter. So to grow a plant, you need the right seed and the right soil. But besides that, you need a special light, and a special light that creates this internal spring and boosts the ability to grow, which gives you productivity with the highest quality. So Manhattan brings into all active solutions the innovations every quarter. So literally every 90 days, you get features on board, and you can turn them on whenever you feel it's needed. So they all come to you on the standard package as turned off, and you can choose a time when you think they're applicable and the features are applicable for you. And last and not the least, so you subscribe to application, you implemented it and you work with it. And then let's say the question is, well, if you want to build something which is unique for your company, which is unique for your industry, or maybe unique for your customer, how to do this? Manhattan is, first of all, is a product company. So we have a tool called Proactive, and it's also a part of our based functionality, and it's part of all our active products. So the tool which helps you, that you or your consulting company, your own teams, they can build and manage your own extensions. You're not dependent on us, and you can create your own extensions, you can create your own theme, and you can find a moment when it's a right time to do this. A small video.
The fact of the matter is, over the last 30 years, the speed of, the need for speed of change has increased a lot. The customer expectations have changed a lot. Now, if you keep a software which you implemented in 2010 and use it till 2020, you're already quite outdated. And I think where the cloud really helped is you getting that innovation at a much faster pace. With the things as they were changing, you could get hands on that innovation in a much quicker pace and keep pace with what was happening outside in the outside world, or what the customer expectations were. You hope to meet that expectation because the underlying software which you're using can keep up with that pace.
Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please raise a hand and we will give you a microphone. And if not, thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah, we are on B29 stand. Yeah, if they have any questions, feel free to chip in and we can carry on there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.